Hi guys, what is going on and welcome to today's YouTube video. In today's video we are going to discuss the current Bitcoin range. I am going to discuss the current Bitcoin scenario that I will be looking to trade in the upcoming days. If you guys have any questions after watching this YouTube video, you can always let me know in the comments down below. Also make sure to join our free Discord. Today I will be giving away 5 times $100 to everyone that has signed up with my affiliate link on BitGet. It is in partnership with BitGet. You can do whatever you want with the $100 because you just have to send me your USDT address and I will be giving away 5 times $100. So keep an eye on my Twitter. The link will also be in the description down below. But let's dive into Bitcoin, guys, because we can see that Bitcoin is still range bound. Last night, we saw a sweep of the range high that occurred over here. Not last night, obviously, yesterday afternoon. And after the sweep, we got a very swift and impulsive move to the downside. Now, this is making me think that we are still within a correctional structure and that there's a decent possibility that we are going to visit the low of this massive wick where we have our sell side liquidity. Below this low, we all know that I am going to become interested in potential long positions on the Bitcoin price. But since we got this very impulsive move to the downside, I think we are still within this ABC, WXY, whatever you want to call it, within this correctional structure, right? And now the fact that this move is impulsive is indicating that we are potentially in a wave C that is usually a swift and impulsive move to the downside. So if this is our wave 1 and we got a break of structure to the downside over here, we know that we could be looking to short the end of wave 2. Now we need to obviously mark out our POI where we potentially think that this wave 2 might end. To do so, I want to start off with taking the fib, the fixed range volume profile of the current week. We are going to start on Monday at noon like this and drag it towards the current hour. Okay, so we can see that the point of control and the value area high of the current week are aligning with the supply area over here, because this is where the supply was coming into the market, and that is beautifully aligning with our POI with the value area high and point of control of the current week. Now let's also take the fixed range volume profile of last week. Let's start at Monday at noon once again over here. It's this Monday, obviously, excuse me. Drag it all the way towards Sunday at noon, and we can see that we have the value area high of the week over here. Point of control a little lower. In my opinion, they are not too interesting. I also want to have a look at the fixed range volume profile of yesterday, so of Thursday, because a lot was going on. You can see that we have the value area high aligning over here. Now, I think we have 2 potential areas of interest. The first one being this area over here, right? Second one being the supply area over here, where we also have the point of control and value area high. I will explain to you guys why. We can see that around the value area high of yesterday, I'm going to remove the fixed range volume profile, we can see that we also had this very important tap over here. That was the first proper resistance that we found during this entire massive uptrend, where we found some resistance and formed the range low, right? So that is a very nice confluence as well, and afterwards that area has been huge resistance a lot of times for the Bitcoin price. Over here it was support. This is also the piece of price session that brought us this move to the downside. Did not get respected. It did not get respected once again, but the fact that this area did not get respected during this move is actually a good thing. Why? Because that means that everyone will forget about this crucial resistance area. So that is my first POI. Start looking for potential shorts to the downside. If we are going to take swing low to swing high, we can also see that that area is beautifully aligning with the premium of this move to the downside, and we know that we are only interested in shorts within our premium and longs within our discount. So if we're going to reach this premium, if we're going to test this resistance area, this is definitely an area where you want to look for potential shorts. If we see signs of weakness around this area, I think we have a free short towards the sell side liquidity over here. Second scenario is to get a little bit of a push higher towards the supply over here, see a little bit of rejection over there, and then we are going to send it to the downside towards our sell side liquidity target. And that is what I'm currently watching on the Bitcoin price. If we're going to check out the daily time frame, we can also see that we have a very bearish candlestick over here. So let me quickly remove all of my drawings from the chart for a second, like this. But we can also see that despite the fact that this is a very bearish candlestick, obviously, we also have created a massive wick to the upside. Now we know that these wicks are a massive draw on liquidity, and I think there's a decent possibility to fill at least 50% of that wick. So we are going to mark out that EQ level over here. We are going to remove this. We are going to switch back our drawings. And what can we see? We can see that that EQ level of that wick is aligning beautifully with the supply area over here and also with our premium once again, right? That is beautiful. Also with the previous range high, we can see huge resistance, massive resistance, massive resistance. Every single time the Bitcoin price has tested that range high area, it found huge resistance. We formed a supply over here, right? Rejected it, rejected it, rejected, rejected. And then over here, we basically form a fresh supply area. And that looked very similar to the supply area that we formed over here, as you can see. And that is something that is extremely interesting. So personally, I'm leaning a little bit more towards a higher move before we are going to see a move to the downside. Why? Because first of all, the wick fill, 50% of that wick fill is over there as well, which is above our first POI. Still, I am going to leave this first POI marked on my chart. If I see big signs of weakness, I will still short it. What do I mean by signs of weakness? Let's step into it. Rejection, sweep the high of the first rejection. If you then get a break of structure, you can either market short it or wait for the retest. Invalidation above the high, target sells liquidity. Now, if we do not see a rejection, which I would not be surprised about at all, if we just burst right through it, why would this favor this scenario? Why would this scenario favor me? It is because if we break through it, a lot of people will get extremely bullish again around the range highs, around the massive resistance area. What will happen is people are longing this move to the upside. They are longing it. They're putting their stops below this low, for example, which only adds to the sell side liquidity, which will fuel that move to the downside. So market makers will have a bigger reason to push the price to the downside because the liquidity that has been building up over here is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that means that the draw on liquidity is bigger and that the potential reward for market makers will be bigger as well, and that there's more liquidity to eventually fill their own buy orders over here below the range low that I just talked about. Okay, another scenario that we could be seeing is something that I have been marking out on my Twitter today as well, and it is something that I think we have to take into account, and that is why I'm also going to wait for signs of weakness around my POIs, because maybe we are just going to trap everyone over the next few days/weeks. What if we just pump it higher, sweep this week, and also sweep the range high above this high and potentially even above this high? Then if we sweep those highs, a lot of people will get extremely bullish, they long it. We flush them out because they will put their stops below this low, right? So we flush them out. Now everyone will get extremely bearish once again, right? Because they see a sweep of these highs and then a huge rejection. What would mean that everyone is expecting lower prices. They start shorting and put their stops above this high and potentially above maybe the unswept high over here, which will add to the liquidity that I've been talking about above the range high for a very long time. Then the market makers send the price back up again, and that is where they start a distribution phase, right? So they will start consolidating above this range high, which means that a lot of people will see that as a potential breakout, which means that a lot of people will start longing the breakout over here, which will only add to the liquidity that the market makers will then use to fill their own short orders over here. And then we get that final harsh correction towards the CME gap over here, because we are also forming a potential rising wedge / parallel channel towards the upside, which is another sign of weakness on the higher time frames. We fill the CME gap over here, we start reaccumulating, and then we start a proper bull run next year. This is my high time frame scenario. This adds to the potential confluence of getting a sweep of this week that we put in. Keep that into account. If we are going to sweep the sweep of the lows, start looking for swing longs over here, targeting the range highs over here, and we will see from there. If you guys have any questions after watching this YouTube video, please let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to smash up the like button, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and don't forget to participate in the giveaway later today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll speak to you guys on Monday's video. Ciao, ciao!